Hey guys, it's Sarah from Teacher is Happy, and today I'm doing the thing I tell everyone not to do, which is to come into work in the holidays. I'm just gonna smash out a bunch of jobs. I feel like I've been chasing my tail all year. 2020 has thrown a lot of stuff at us, and yeah, I just need some quiet time, hours really actually, to get things done, to get things sorted, and just get me on track ready for term 4. So I'm actually bringing in some stuff that I've cricketed at home. So I've got my spray bottles for our plants and also for cleaning out the tables. And then I made a bunch of signs and things with my friend Emily. So if you've seen that vlog, that's what that's from. And I'm gonna fix up just some displays and like just sort life out, ready for term 4. Let's go. If this kind of is proof of being on holidays, it's that all your displays have like fallen down. I suck these up with like magnetic tape, and they just don't want to stay. Okay, so something we use for literacy groups are these little like figures that match our literacy group names. So we've got the kids pick Pokemon, and they're just like meant to like stand up like on the desk like that. And at the moment we've been using this like blue tack and not safety pin, what do you call it, like paper clip situation. But number one, not very hygienic. Number two, they don't really work that well. It was a good like filler fix, but I got these actually from my sister's wedding, so I'm going to tag them below. I'm pretty sure they're just from eBay, and they were for like place setting signs. So I thought they were cute and see-through and will just be like so much better. The only thing is I think I'll need to use like a little bit of blue tack just so they stay, but it's like the perfect size. That worked out really well. So what we use these for is to kind of show the kids where they need to sit or what activity they're doing. I'd like to change up like reading group rotations and stuff pretty frequently, like where they sit, what activity they're doing. We don't really do like rotations as such anymore. I try to make it a little bit more autonomous where they like pick and choose what activities to do in like what order. But then sometimes I don't get it done. So we kind of do a mix of like a tracking sheet as well as, you know, this is what you're doing today, because I found like some kids weren't getting all the work done that I wanted them to get done. So yeah, I'm just kind of like, you've got to give them a little bit of autonomy into choosing like what to do and all that kind of thing, but also they need to get it done. So this is one way I kind of like sit them together and say, look, this is what you guys are doing today because you haven't done it, or this is what I need you to do. I've set this particular activity up for you. And that way, if you do have like really specific activities for certain groups, like you've got a group of EALD learners or people that need to work on this particular like sound or whatever it might be, you can kind of group them together to work on it during that lesson. I'm also going to, oh my goodness, and I've got all the little like dots and things to go with them, make some headings for literacy groups to put on the wall, because if I'm not here for some reason, I'm on like ECT time, like mentoring, or I'm on QTSS time running programs, and someone else has to run my literacy groups, it's all well and good to have it in a slideshow and all pretty on your board, but if the board's not working or you're not signed in or you couldn't send it to the person, then it's good to just have it on the wall that you can look at and there's like no drama. Okay, so now I'm going to cut out my headings and put some magnetic tape on the back. So this is magnetic tape. This one's just from Kmart. The only trick that you have to remember when you're using it like with like small things like this, that every little piece that you use has to go the same direction, because then it doesn't like, I don't know, the magnet doesn't work. So I learned that the hard way. I've only put 3 pieces on, but let's test it out before we do the rest. Okay, so they're staying up but not hugely successful, because like as soon as you touch it, it falls. So I'm gonna have to add some more tape, but I think it looks pretty cute. Okay, so my next job is to add up our things for week 1. So I'm sneakily looking at my board to tell me what I need to write and then adding it up on here, and that way if there's a malfunction with the board or the kids don't know what to do or whatever, they can just come to here and it'll say, because I want them to be independent learners. These are our week 1 and 2 literacy group activities, just in very simple terms. We've also got Boggle over here. I'm going to update that to have the tr sound in there, so it's kind of like just an extension on what they've been doing. So a big part of getting ready is doing my timetable up for the day. I'm going to update my date every morning. I I put that as a big try sometimes. I forget, but I try to put the date up in long form, and then I have our activities. We generally have about 6 or so activities that we do in the day. I don't include recess or lunch. The reason being, like, some of my kids, if things like turn around in order or we don't quite get to it before or after lunch, they can get a little bit sidetracked out of the routine. So if I just have them in the order that we're going to do them, generally we try and stick to that, and then if it falls either side of lunch or recess, it's not a big deal. Yeah, there is a reason behind not putting recess and lunch on there as well. So that's the overview of our day. I think I'm going to, well, I aim to vlog that day, so I won't run you through what each of those will look like because I'll just be doubling up. I have no idea what the date's going to be. Let me just find it. So it looks like we go back on the 12th of October. So I'm just going to update this. I have like the grossest wipes because my plan was this holidays to wash them all, and I haven't, so I've got to take them home today and quickly do that because that's a bit gross. October, it's my birthday month. So something I really preach and talk about is being an independent learner and being a problem solver, and I'm trying to teach my kids to be more like that. I do have kids with really high additional needs, and I can't always get around to every kid at every point in the day. Sometimes I'm kind of at a table working with some kids that need that additional help. So it's really important that my kids learn to be independent learners, especially during literacy. So my practice student actually got these, but they are some signs from Twinkle, and I just find them really useful as like a guide of what to do. So the first one says, be independent before you ask me. So that's their first step. If they come to interrupt reading or something that really needs my full attention, I'm like, ooh, go look at the board. So be independent before you ask me. Think and use your brain. So actually just stopping and going, actually, I can work this out on my own, because a lot of them don't think to do that. Then it says check the board, which I'm going to show you in a moment how I set up the board as like a little helper. Check your book, so actually see if the steps are laid out for you or whatever it might be, your template. And then ask a friend. Oh, you can't see it. Ask a friend. Okay, so be independent first and then ask a friend. And generally you do the whole like ask 3 before me kind of thing, but I don't love them like up and about in the room, but I generally ask them to ask a friend that looks like they know what they're doing. But yeah, I just want them to be like little independent problem solvers, and this is one way of doing like a checklist. So I generally have this up on the board somewhere because I think it's super duper important to practice those skills. And this one, yes, is from Twinkle, so you can go and check that out on there, or you could just make your own. But this one's cute and rainbow, and I like that. So I'm going to show you now how I make my kids super independent. I'm still learning, and they're still learning, but we're doing our best. Now this is Mrs. Sainty, what should I do now? And I have something called a must do, a catch up, and a may do. If you guys want the link to this, head to my Instagram. It's in my highlights under favorites, because so many people ask me. I actually really want to make new ones of these because they've gotten a bit grubby over the years and they don't really go with my aesthetic anymore, which is like more pastel. So I think I'm going to make new ones for term 4. Anyway, so it says, Mrs. Sainty, what do I do now? So I have activities up the top that are must-do activities, so something like their literacy center activity, then some catch-up things, so if they're away for an assessment or they've just missed something for whatever reason, they can do those. And then once they've done all this, then they can do a may do. So a may do is still quality work. It's not just like a busy work, making sure it's related as much as you can. So things like boggle with your spelling sound of the week, that's still related work. It's not a cop-out. I think some people get really like fussed on like making these super big extension things. You can make it simple, easy, independent. You don't want to make it extra work for you, because this is all about them being a problem solver, being someone that's independent. So then don't make the activity something they can't do independently. So things that you've set up throughout the year, you've taught them how to do on their own. And you can't, the thing about kids is you can't expect them to know what to do on their own. You have to teach them, they have to learn the skill to then be independent. You can't just expect them to be independent. You might just not have the skills and things needed to be independent, so you need to provide those for them. So must do things on day 1, we're definitely doing, look, I don't put them all down because that's just silly, it's just rewriting what's on, but something where they probably will finish first is in literacy groups. They won't have any catch up because it'll be the first day back. So I'm going to leave catch up all blank, and then just down the bottom I'm going to put a few activities, because I do want them to be, like you said, autonomous learners. You want them to be able to pick things for themselves. You got to give them a little bit of leeway, and then generally they're more engaged. Not always, but generally. Kindness challenge is something as well that they can, I'm going to get them to write if they have completed one of the kindness things. So these are related to what we're doing in class. They're not just like random busy work, but they're also things that they can do super independently. One other thing I do have in regards to being independent learners is having our learning intention and success criteria. So this is a really good visual for them to know what exactly they need to do in that lesson. Do I do it for every lesson? No. Do I do it every day? No, but I'm getting better at it. So the first kind of lesson they're going to need a learning intention and success criteria is in the Super 6 lesson. So that's all about predicting and just knowing what comes next. So I'm going to write a very broad learning intention. Your learning intention needs to be broad. Things are falling today. It's not like a super specific thing. You get more specific in the success criteria. So this is kind of like their checklist to know if they've done the right thing. And again, it makes them super independent learners, because you can go, have you checked the success criteria? Have you done all those things to be successful? So again, be really broad. I've said to predict what comes next in a story. We're not saying the story that we're reading, we're just saying any story. And I kind of like to do success criteria as a little bit of a checklist, but I actually like to write it with them here. So I'm going to wait on that one and write that one with them here, and that way you can kind of tailor it, differentiate for your kids that might need different success criteria to others. So you try and at least make 2 kinds if you can. It's very hard. Some people make 3. I've seen some fantastic people like come up with it with their kids, and then they write it in the book, and it's just like a whole big thing. I like to just have it up there. They can refer to it. They don't need it written in their book. I don't make them rewrite it in their book. I just think it's a waste of time. I'd rather them be doing the thing, doing the learning. So I really like to have that on this wall. The only thing is I push it all the way over there because we actually open up this wall a lot for co-teaching. And then on my board, it's like nice and close to the Promethean. So all their like important, I need to see it now stuff is facing this way, and their if I need it kind of stuff is facing that way. And that hopefully will bring down the like crazy amount of stimulus, because we don't want too much like for them to have to think about. I know there's going to be some people be like, you shouldn't have a front of your room. We don't. We have lots of different corners, but generally we're facing this way because the board is at the front, and that way it just makes more sense. There's less going on this wall, more going on that wall behind them. So something I've started this year just to have the kids be a little bit more self-reflective of how they're learning, how they're taking care of their space, all that kind of thing, is a job wheel. I've done like rotating jobs before, but this is so much easier. You can just literally rotate it around. Just once a week, you just change it up. Then the kids come and check it. Oh, that's my job for the week. And they have so much more ownership over the room. I did have some like blanks because I wanted them to have like a break some weeks. They didn't want that. They want a job every week, which is awesome. And at the end of the day, we have like job time or like cleanup time, which goes for about 5 minutes. I pick a song, or I want this term, the kids to pick a song. And then for that 5 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever, they do like a good clean of the room. They do all their jobs that are on the job wheel. And then by the time the song's ended, they're on the floor ready to do our end of day wrap up. So that's generally doing some like handing out some dojo points or updating whatever it might be. That we need to update them on, changing our readers, all that kind of stuff. And I find that gets them just like really moving and grooving for that 5 minutes, and then they know, oh, it's over. So they're not spending like, they're not just like walking around the room pretending they're cleaning, they're actually like super cleaning for that 5 minutes. So behind me, I have our like term overview kind of calendar, just on one of these, I think they're called like letterboards. This one's from Kmart, super cheap. And generally I get the kids to update this, and we get all excited at the start of the term. So I'm not going to update this now. I'm going to wait for the kids, and we kind of like all look at the calendar together and update this together. And it just gives them something to be excited for, to look forward to in the weeks. And they can also, like, it's a reminder for me as well as them. So I find that that's really cute, but I'm not going to update that today. I'm going to wait and do that with the kids next week. So something else we've done this term is the Great Pencil Challenge. We're going to continue it into term 4. This is the current state of the pencils. There is not 25 in there, let me tell you. So many people lost them in the first few weeks. And they have a pencil to work. I'm not just like, you don't get a pencil. They're just kind of like out of the challenge. So we're going to change this to Friday, week 1 is going to be our next check-in. And I'm not asking the kids to not use their pencil and just like keep it super long. I want them to use it, but to keep it at a sensible length, because we have this awesome like electric sharpener, and some of them sharpen it and it's down to like this big in a week. And it's just a waste. Like, it's just wasteful. It's not about me being like, I don't want to buy them pencils. I just don't want them to be wasteful, people. So another job I really wanted to do these holidays was like actually sort stuff out. So I bought these tubs from Officeworks. They're only $5 each, and they're actually like pretty sturdy for $5. I'm always like really against buying like really just like dodgy tubs because they just break, but I couldn't go past them because they're only $5. And go through all of these. This probably actually looks like semi-neat to some people, but I do just like chuck stuff in and it never just gets sorted. It's just like such a waste. So I'm going to go through, see what I actually need, because I've got resources that I'm not utilizing and ones that I probably don't need anymore and I can give to somebody else or just chuck out. So I'm going to go through that now and not leave it till the end of the year. I also have no idea what my Netflix password is, so I'm going to go on Disney Plus because I have that signed in at school, and probably watch like Moana or something while I'm doing this, because it is very dry to do it in silence. Now let's get back to turn it down a bit because people might think I'm crazy. Like, so much stuff that I bought and I've never used, and I bought this because it was like $2. Never used it, but keeping it for someday, I think. Like something that looks so like useless, but they're all like 1 meter strings that I cut up, so we'll reuse those at some point, hopefully. Was a big waste of money because the battery lasts like 2 seconds, and it's not to do with the battery, it's just dodgy. So I think I need to just throw it out, even though it's really cute. Going in the bin. I've had the same party decorations up here for like years. I think it's time to put them in the bin. Okay, so this is what I've got done so far. Pretty neat. This one's looking pretty good as well. So this is all like their toys, and then yeah, I need to like label them, which I'm going to do on my Cricut. But yeah, toys, and then down the bottom's like extra posters and stuff. So it's finally sitting down, actually working time, not procrastinating on my beautiful room. I need to write some awards up for the first week, and then this whole basket is full of unmarked assessments. So I really need to like work through them, mark some of them, potentially take a lot of them home because they really should have been marked last term, but like I said, I was always chasing my tail last term. So I'm going to do a little bit of it now and continue watching Sunny with a Chance. I'm having like just flashbacks to my childhood watching this. Like, I actually remember what happens in the episodes, which is crazy. I'm actually going to get my glasses as well. Serious Sarah time. Okay, so these are the tests that I need to mark. So there is 5 and I have 25 kids. So that's 100 tests I need to mark. Amazing. And input results for lots of other things as well. We've got all their like benchmarks, got all their PE results. So I'm actually going to take this home because I feel like I'm just not going to get it done here today. I've already marked all these. Now the last job that we need to do today is clean up my area. This seems to always get the messiest. Because I just like don't prioritize cleaning it, but I'm going to clean it up now, make sure it's ready for term 4, fresh, not too much on my desk. Let's do it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave it for day 1 because it's things like mugs and things that I can't get to the dishwasher right now. So I'm just going to leave them. I think I'm going to call it for the day. I've got a whole bunch of tests to take home, and I'm just going to take them home and do them at home. I thought I was going to get work done here today, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, so I hope you guys got an insight into our term 4 and what I spend my holidays doing. I don't actually, this is like a very much a one-off. If you have any questions or comments below about literacy groups or setting up a classroom or anything like that, please comment them down below, like and subscribe, do all those YouTube things that really support my channel. And for watching this one, thank you kindly.